Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a bit, but I'm going to be back. I'm going to be doing Premier League predictions. It was a bit off schedule. I had a couple things going on I didn't really know about and didn't really expect. But now that I'm here, the season already started. It's already been 2 days into the season. Some games have happened, but I'm not gonna let that go into my predictions. I kind of have it just as much as I had it like 3, 4, 5 days ago when I did make these predictions. The impact that these games had are not going to go into my list. This is basically the same list I had a couple days ago. But without further ado, I want to go through some of my Premier League predictions, not just some, but all of my Premier League predictions from place 20 to place 1. I just want to talk about some of the big aspects of the season, some things we could be looking forward to, some things that could be happening that are very unexpected. But this is going to be my go at the most famous Premier League predictions. See, at 20th, I think it's going to be a very similar season to the past two. It might be the 3 up, go 3 down, but I think there actually might be some little bit of a difference here. Of course, I went 20th. I went Burnley. I think Burnley, just to me, are a team who haven't made too many really good signings. I think Kyle Walker was a good signing, but other than that, I don't see too many players in the team that are like, to me, right up there, very, very impressive. I was very impressed with Antony today, one of their left wingers. I thought he did very well, but apart from that, I don't really see too much. Yeah, Burnley to me are just a side that are so well defensively, but it just seems that going forward, there's not too much there. So for that reason, I'm going to go 20th. 19th, unfortunately, I think this is a team that a lot of people have going up. I have Leeds. I think Leeds, for me, Daniel Farke, for me, just not a great manager. We saw him almost getting sacked this season, and I'm just very interested to see how they go about in the Premier League. Do I think they're going to have a bad season? No. I think they're going to be a lot better than Leeds. I mean, a lot better than Burnley. I think there might be a 5-10 point gap, but I just still think the difference in the Premier League and then like teams like Leeds, Sunderland, Burnley, I think it's a very big difference. And for me, I just cannot see them staying up. Plus, their business in the window, I haven't seen too much that I've been very impressed with. But yeah, for this reason, I'm going to have them 19th. In 18th, I've actually kind of gone with something that I personally think. I think this team, I'm going to name them Brentford. I think Brentford, for me, are a team that, as of late, haven't been way too good. I think we saw in their preseason thing wasn't amazing. I don't think their preseason was. And they've lost big players. Mbeumo is gone. They've lost, I think Wissa is going to be out the door. I can't tell you just yet, but I do expect Wissa to leave. Thomas Frank, I think, is going to be a very big factor. And I think Thomas Frank, I think he brought so much energy to this club. And I think their fans would also just agree that Thomas Frank, probably one of their better managers of late. And I think they did really depend on them. Although I do still think the Brentford system doesn't need a Thomas Frank. It could run with a lot of very good managers, but I look at Brentford and I don't regard another player that I think very, very important. But I look at Brentford and I can't see them staying up over the team that I'm going to name next. And in 17th place, I went with Sunderland. And for me, the difference is Sunderland, Leeds, Burnley. I think the difference with Sunderland is maybe the passion and honestly just the light stadium, the home advantage they will have. And today, this was not counted. I already had Sunderland coming up, but we've seen today Sunderland destroyed West Ham 3-0 at home, and I just think you heard the light stadium erupting every time a goal went in, and it really is, I think, a fortress. I think it's going to be a very, very hard place to go to. I could see teams like Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool that will really struggle at the light stadium. But yeah, I really see their team as very good. I see some of their appointments as very, very solid appointments. I think Adingra is a player that's gone very under the radar, but I think he's a very good player. And for a team like Sunderland, I think this is a great place to be. In 16th, I went with Wolves. I don't think it's too niche to say. I think Wolves are a team, for me, that just always kind of land here from the 15th place to the 17th. I don't think they'll get relegated. I think the losses of Cunha and Benoit Nouri are big ones, but of course we've seen players like Arias coming in the window. He's played for a long time at Fluminense. He just came to Europe as of late. I'm very interested to see how it works out for him. But yeah, I've got Wolves at 16th. 15th, I've got West Ham. I don't think that's too crazy to say. For me, it's just West Ham. You look at a team with so much talent, so much potential. But for me, I just don't think Graham Potter is the right guy. And I think they went from the one manager, then they went to this one, then they went to this one. And I think it's just it's too much switches, and I think maybe next season, not this one, maybe the season after, I think that I could see them finishing in 10th, ninth, maybe even breaking into the top 8. And I just think right now, the way I see them is I just don't really see them able to do this. 15th, I still don't think it's a horrible finish, and I've seen a lot of West Ham fans online kind of agree with this. So yeah, for that reason, I've got him 15th. In 14th, I've got Fulham. I think Fulham for me are just a team that I haven't seen in the window. I haven't seen too much done. Emile Smith-Rowe, I'm a great fan, but I just don't think one player is enough to carry a team. Of course, I don't watch Fulham day in, day out, so week in, week out, so I can't tell you too much about the club. I do think they're a solid team, and I think they're a team that are going to be solid this season. I just, over some of the teams up there, I think it'll be hard for them to crack maybe the top 10. But yeah, 13th, I've got Forest, which may sound surprising. They finished, 6th last year? But for me, the issue with Forest is I can't see them replicating the levels they did last year. I don't think Chris Wood will be the same. Not near to that level. I think Chris Wood had an insane little stint. I think Alanga, of course, is going to be a big loss. For me, the main thing is I just don't think Nuno Espirito Santos, I don't think he could keep getting away with just sitting back, having that low block, and then just hitting teams on the counter. I don't think it works like that 2 seasons in a row. I don't see it happening, and I don't think 13th is a horrible finish, if I had to be honest. I've seen some people say 17th, 16th, and I think that's insane. But I don't think 13th is an awful finish for Forest, and that I have them there. 12th, I have, maybe unsurprisingly, I have Bournemouth Football Club. For me, Bournemouth, what it is with them, I don't know. I just think the fact they've lost their most key components in their back line, players like Howson. I think Howson was outstanding last season. Zabarny went under the radar a lot for me. And I think Kerekes would be a very big miss. And you just saw him dominate that left flank. And for me, I can't see them doing it without those 3 guys. I think Kluivert will have a big season. But apart from that, I don't see too much out of this Bournemouth team. I do really rate their manager, Iriola. I think he's very good. But for me, I can't see them finishing any higher than 12th. In 11th, I have Everton. I think Everton will make a very good run. Jack Grealish, I think, is going to be a very big appointment. I think now that Jack Grealish has this freedom, has something new, not Pep Guardiola style, I think Jack Grealish really could show himself to Everton fans this season. Very excited to see how that goes. It might be a flop. I can't tell you that for sure. But yeah, Jack Grealish, I think, is a great player to bring in. Of course, you've got the likes of Tarkovsky, Mikolenko, Pickford. You've got all these fantastic players. And for me, I just see this team just doing something magical this season. Now moving into a new stadium, and David Moyes, I just think, is the perfect manager to lead him into it. I really rate him. I think he's a great manager, not just because he played for United, but managed United. But I think he's a very good manager for this team, and I have them finishing 11th. In 10th, I have Crystal Palace, and there's a lot of factors in this. For me, Crystal Palace, it's just like the biggest thing is honestly the Guehi transfer. I think Eze is also a very big one, but those 2 players, Eze and Guehi, if they leave, I could see honestly, I could see Palace finishing 14th, 15th. It's just, I think they're so dependent on these 2 players. But also what I love about Palace is how united they are as a team. I think they're a very fun team to watch. Like in the Community Shield, I think they're a very brilliant side. I think Ismail Assar will have a very good season. For me, I just think he's a very good player in general. But yeah, you just look around this side, and I just think there's a lot of talent and a lot of potential this season. I have them finishing 10th. In 9th, I have Aston Villa, and I just think that Aston Villa is kind of going dry over there, if you know what I mean. It's going stale. I don't want to reuse that term, but it's just I look at Villa this season, and in the transfer window, I don't think they've done too much. Honestly, I could see Unai Emery facing pressure. Facing various amounts of pressure. I don't think Ollie Watkins will have the season he has. I think Ollie Watkins will begin to go on his decline. I think Morgan Rogers is a shining light, but I see a fall off from Villa. I don't see them finishing where they did last year, so yeah, I have them 9th. Not too much to be said about them. In 8th, I have the glorious Manchester United. Yeah, I don't know if it's too high. I don't know if it's too low. I think Manchester United will be a team that's going to be very hard to predict. You could see them finishing in the top 4. maybe, you could see them finishing 16th. It's generally such a hard team to predict, but I think the signings of Baleba, why? The appointments of Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, I think these three players for me are just going to look very, very good this season. I think Mbeumo is going to be the weaker one. I think we overpaid for Mbeumo, if I'll be honest, but Cunha, I just really see a lot going on there. And same as Benjamin Šeško, this could be either hit or miss. We'll have to see. I haven't seen the game against Arsenal yet, so we'll have to see how that goes. I see them finishing 8th. I think there's a lot of pressure on Ruben Amorim, but I genuinely see this side finishing 8th. Call me a fan. I don't know. I think 8th is a solid finish. 7th, I have Brighton. I think Brighton will play good football this season. I really like Brighton. I think under Hutzler, they've looked a lot better. Mitoma is looking like a superstar. I really rate him as a player. Baleba, of course, still plays there. I think also a fantastic player. I just see this side playing such... I really like this side. I think Brighton will make a good run this season. I think they'll be one of the more underrated teams. If I had to pick, I think Brighton will look class this season. I really rate a lot of their players. Verbruggen, I think Lewis Dunk, great leader. It's just a really solid team, and I can see this team finishing very highly this season. So that's why I put him 7th. But that will lead me on to the 6th spot, and I have Tottenham Hotspurs finishing 6th. I look at the Spurs side. A lot of people have them finishing a bit lower, maybe a bit higher, but I just look at Spurs, and I really like them. I think they're a really good team. I think they have a really good side this season. They come up with players like Pedro Porro. Honestly, their backline with Van de Ven, Romero, I think this is a very, very good side. It's just about consistency. It's about Thomas Frank really coaching them in the right way. It's about pushing that backline a bit deeper. It's about playing the Thomas Frank ball. I really think this is a good side. And apart from injury, I don't see too much things going wrong. Like I said, it's just a very good side. I'm very, very excited to see where they go this season. That leads me on to 5th, where I have Newcastle United, and it could be a bit high, honestly. I think you could have Spurs in 5th, but Newcastle United, I look at the quality, and it's really, really good. And the Isak thing is a very, very big thing. Is Isak going to stay? Obviously not. Is Isak going to play for Liverpool? We don't know yet. I think that is not going to be a great thing if he goes to Liverpool, but the whole Isak thing, I have a lot to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I don't have too much time, but yeah, if Isak still played for Newcastle United, which he does, he is right now, but if he ended up playing, if he never had that attitude to leave, I think they would have finished a lot higher. Moving 4th, I have Chelsea in 4th. I don't think that's too crazy to say. I could see them finishing higher. I could see them finishing up to 2nd. But for me, it's a lot of young players. It's a lot of inexperience. I think in 2 years, this side will be direct competitors with Liverpool for the title. But I look at Chelsea and I look at João Pedro. I think these are great players. Give it some time and we could be seeing a great side. Right, so in 3rd, I have Arsenal Football Club. I think Arsenal is just a team that could finish anywhere in the top 4. It could be 4th, it's 3rd, 2nd, even 1st, I hear some people say. But for me, the issue with Arsenal is just the left wing position for me is also just a big question mark. All we see in Arsenal, a lot of the play comes from the left hand, from the right hand side. It comes from Saka, it comes from Odegaard, it comes from Declan Rice, but you never really see this play from the left side. And I think they're really missing out on players like Rodrigo, Eze. And if they let those two go, I just think looking at Arsenal this season, that is a big letdown for me. 2 players that I think could massively have improved this team. And just for me, looking at them go to other sides like City or now we could be seeing Spurs. I think it's such a question mark for me. How could they let that happen? And I think these are 2 such quality players. And I think it'd be a very big letdown, very massive letdown if they just let that happen. But yeah, I just have Arsenal finishing 3rd. I think there's a lot of quality on this side. I think Odegaard, if he comes back to his best, is a great player. You got Saka, who's gonna be back off injury. You have a player with Declan Rice who looks absolutely fantastic. Zubimendi looks amazing. And then, of course, they've got the best defense in the league. But for me, the question is it enough? And the next two teams that I'm going to be bringing up are just quality. And these 2 teams are going to look, I think, fantastic this season. In number 2, drumroll please, I have Manchester City. I don't know if it's too high. I would question if it's too high. But for me, I just look at City. I look at Pep Guardiola, I look at Erling Haaland, I look at the likes of Reinders, I look at the likes of Cherokee. They could do something, and I just think to myself, wow. I'm very excited. I'm very not actually excited because I do not support them. I do not like them at all. But I'm very interested to per se to see just what they do this season. I think this is a team with so much potential, and Foden, like players like Foden, it's a lot. It's a big question. I think to me, it's all about these players. It's all about if they have a good season, if they make the push, and I think they could really challenge Liverpool this season. Like I really believe so. I just think Foden has to have a really big season. I think that's going to be one of the bigger ones. The defense has to be very, very well this season. I think that's been the biggest question mark around City, but yeah, I think it's a good question mark. I think it's a fair point. And you look at the defense. It's been leaking goals in the past season. I think there's been a lot of moments where you look at the defense and you question it. You look at the midfield with Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Rodri's only going to come off injury about September, and who knows how Rodri's going to look. I think that's going to be a big factor with them. If Rodri's going to be back to his best, which Ballon d'Or worthy, as we've seen, he did win the Ballon d'Or. He's a very, very talented player, very good player, controls the tempo, controls the midfield. But is he going to be enough to push them over the line to number 1, or is it going to set them back to number 3? And I think it all depends on the version we see of City. And I also think a lot of it has to do with Pep Guardiola. Whether he keeps playing the likes of Bernardo Silva, whether he keeps playing the likes of Akanji, it's a lot of question marks. But I do see City finishing second, and I just think I see Haaland. I see a player that scores 20 goals this season. I see Tijani Reinders, a player who will just create chances for fun. Ryan Cherki, who just brings a little bit of spice to this team. And yeah, I'm very interested to see where they finish. And of course, in number 1, without question, I think Liverpool will win the league. And if they get Isak, like genuinely, I don't think this is a question. I think Liverpool will dominate the league by maybe 10 points. They're just so class, and I hate to say it, but they're just so class. The whole team, it just looks amazing, and the signings they've made, Wirtz, breaking the transfer record for Wirtz, I think is a very bold decision, very bold transfer in the world of football. But I look around and I just see so much talent and so much quality around this team. You look at the likes of Van Dijk, you look at the likes of Kanate, you look at Demman, Alisson. You look around the squad and you just think it's really good. It's a very good team, and I can't really see this team doing too much wrong. I think I'm very excited to see how Wirtz performs. Ekitike, I didn't even remember to mention him because I think he's going under the radar with all the Isak news, but I really think there's so much here to unveil in this new season. It's gonna be so much to look at, but yes, I have Liverpool finishing first, and that will wrap up the predictions for me for this Premier League season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I think I'm very interested to see how you guys see the top 4 playing out, how you see Sunderland, if you see a team like Sunderland, Leeds coming through and actually finishing in the top 17. Yeah, I'm just very interested to see how that will look for you guys. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.